And we say good morning to you. We're live at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile Johnson City. A beautiful, beautiful day to come out here and take a look at the car, and that's what we would ask you to consider doing here at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City. Again, on this May 4th, 2017, 234 days till Christmas if you care, and most don't, so... But anyway, we're here live at Champion and ready to go on a beautiful Thursday. Got lots to talk about. We have coming up on the show, we're going to be joined by Chris Van Dyk's due to join us again, the Kingsport Speedway driver, getting ready for a big weekend of racing. We hope the weather will cooperate, and the concrete jungle at Kingsport Speedway. Also going to be joined by our buddy Andy Dietrich, co-owner of Champion Chevrolet. Also, Doug Fritz will stop by the Johnson City Press. We've got baseball, softball, soccer, tennis, all the spring sports cranking up for tournament time this weekend. Again, weather permitting, obviously. We'll also be joined by Kevin Harmon from UT Sports Report. As always, Carmichael has the week off, and we're also going to be joined by Al Albiker from Grip, our title sponsor, Grip Energy Drink. And so we got all that going on today. We've got baseball this afternoon. We got a JV game we're going to bring to you. A little bonus coverage from Twin Stadium. It'll be the Elizabethton Junior Varsity and the Sullivan East JVs getting ready for the tournament, getting us ready for the tournament too. It starts tomorrow at J. Fred Johnson Stadium. So we'll hit it at 4:15 with the pregame and 4:30 first pitch from Twin Stadium this afternoon. The Twins and the Elizabethton Cyclones. Should be a lot of fun, and so we're looking forward to being over there and getting that game in before the rains come. We're under a wind advisory here in the region for this afternoon, and it's a little blustery out there right now. I'm watching Old Glory out in front of Champion Chevrolet, that super gigantic, huge American flag flapping in the breeze. So the wind's out there, and of course, we are inside here, and we start our show each and every show by dedicating it to the man who hung on the cross. We do that unashamedly. And so the verse for the day to get us started is out of the book of Numbers. Number 6:24 through 27 says, I will bless you, and I will keep you. I will make my face to shine upon you. That's hard for me to comprehend right there. I will make my face to shine upon you. I will turn my face towards you and give you peace. How about that? Now, you can't beat that. That's the verse of the day to get it started here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Show number 511. They said it wouldn't work, and here we be. We got all kinds of things to talk about. We got NASCAR, of course, moving into Talladega this weekend. We'll give you the schedule, what's happening there at the Super Speedway. That it's, well, you think Talladega, you think Earnhardt. You also think Keselowski. This guy's kind of figured this thing out down in Talladega. We're going to talk about the racing there this weekend, the Xfinity Series and the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series from Talladega Super Speedway. Also, we've got college basketball. The Buccaneers pick up a big pick here locally for Coach Forbes and the Buck basketball team. We've got the complete tournament breakdowns, how it's going to happen, who's going to play and where, as far as baseball and softball tournament play here locally. Major League Baseball, we've got the scoreboard from last night for you, who played, who won, and who's playing today. We've also got the NBA, big injury for the San Antonio Spurs. My boys, Tony Parker goes down, and as Popovich said, it does not look good. So we'll take a look at the NBA playoffs, the National Hockey League as well. Also the AAC tournament involving Milligan College, how they do yesterday. All that's coming up here on the show. And we've got we talked about the Kentucky Derby is going to run it in the mud coming up on Sunday in Churchill Downs in Louisville. And so we have the pre-race favorite, who they think is going to win the Kentucky Derby. I'm for the one-eyed horse named Patch. He is obviously, I guess, would be an underdog in horse racing to be out there running with one eye. So Patch is my favorite, and I don't know what his odds are. We'll see. But we do have the favorites for the Kentucky Derby running coming up on Saturday. We got street fights tonight at Bristol Dragway. Got all kinds of things to talk about. So we'll take our first break, come right back, and I guess we'll jump into the world of Major League Baseball and see what's going on there. And also take a look at the standings, who played last night, who's playing today, and kind of give you a quick rundown of what's going on in Major League Baseball. So our first segment coming up, our show brought to you by the good folks at Grip Energy Drink, and also, of course, one of our great sponsors right here where we are at Champion Chevrolet. Tim, we still got Silverados from the Speedway?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 3 or 4 are gone, so we'll get the official total. He had 13 1,500 crew cabs to start out with after the race, and he had 8 2,500 crew cabs. Do you know which ones went? There you go. He knew it right off the top of his head. Out of the 8 crew cab 2,500s, 3 are gone. You got 5 of those to choose from, and you've got you got about a dozen of the Silverado 1,500 crew cabs to choose from. So these have an extra discount attached to them because they were event vehicles at the Food City 500. Of course, Bristol Motor Speedway is a bow tie track, Chevrolet. And so as a result of that, those vehicles we talked about last week that were used during the Ride of a Lifetime and the other pre-race festivities up at the world's fastest half mile. So because of that, all the trucks that we're talking about come with a little extra discount because they were event vehicles from the track at Bristol Motor Speedway. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll jump in and talk Major League Baseball next on show number 511 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
The deals are heating up for Truck Month at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. Over 300 new Chevys to choose from, all with incredible savings. $11,000 off MSRP on 16 Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs. Check out the savings online at championjc.com. 16 Silverado Crew Cab, $33,685. 16 Track, $17,460. 16 Equinox, $21,615. 16 Traverse, $27,365. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game. Birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We be live here at Champion Chevrolet again on the Bristol Highway Motor Mile in Johnson City. Let's run down for you Major League Baseball. Let's start in the National League last night, and it was Washington defeating Arizona 2-1. Miami over Tampa Bay 10-6. It was the Reds beating the Pirates 7-2. Also last night it was the Mets all over Atlanta. Batting practice for the Mets 16-5. Braves took one on the chin last night, losing 16-5. Cubs beat the Phillies 5-4. Milwaukee and St. Louis postponed in Busch Stadium because of weather. Colorado defeated San Diego 11-3, and San Francisco pinned a 4-1 loss on the Los Angeles Dodgers last night in the National League. In the American League, Cleveland 3, Detroit 2. It was the Yankees continuing their winning ways. They beat Toronto 8-6. It was Boston doubling up Baltimore 4-2 at Fenway. Elsewhere last night, it was Minnesota, the Twinkies, 7-4 winners over Oakland in Minnesota. Houston 10, Texas 1. Bad news for the Rangers. We'll talk about that coming up here in a few minutes. It was Kansas City defeating the White Sox 6-1, and Seattle over the Los Angeles Angels 8-7. Schedule today goes like this. It is a day game in Cincinnati, businessman special, the Pirates and the Reds. Also this afternoon, day games, Arizona at Washington. You have Milwaukee at St. Louis, Philadelphia against the Cubs in Chicago. Also day game, you have Colorado at San Diego. Tonight under the lights, you've got Miami at Tampa Bay, and the Mets will be in Atlanta to take on Jaime Garcia and the Bravos at 7:35 this evening. In the American League, your schedule, day games, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 to speak of. Cleveland at Detroit, Oakland at Minnesota. You've got Texas at Houston, the White Sox at Kansas City. Tonight under the lights, Baltimore wraps up their series against the Red Sox at Fenway. You have Miami at Tampa Bay and the Los Angeles Angels. The LA Angels will be taking on the Seattle Mariners in Seattle. Tom Taylor Sports Show, thanks for being with us. We're live here again, as we said, at Champion Chevrolet. Andy's going to be joining us here coming up here in just a little while. Here's some baseball notes to pass on to you. You have, we talked earlier in the week about Noah Syndergaard. It's been made official. He's going to be out 3 months. Syndergaard with a partially torn lat muscle, be out indefinitely, and talking 3 months, probably going to be out until August. Big blow for the Mets staff, and as we talked yesterday at Chick-fil-A, this is his fault. This guy, as an employee of the New York Mets, they went to him after he complained of pain and soreness start before last, and they said, we want you to have an MRI, and he refused it. Went back out and pitched last Sunday and walked off again early in the ball game with he left Sunday start with the injury in the second inning. Happened only a few days after Syndergaard refused an MRI on his achy biceps. So now it seems like it could miss up to 3 months. That would keep him out until August. This is all on Syndergaard. The Mets, some of the Met fan base trying to blame it on the Mets. No. This guy's an employee of the New York Mets. You are an employee of Champion Chevrolet, and Tim says, I want you to go to the doctor. I'm going to go to the doctor. Plain and simple. We want you to get an MRI. I don't want to. Yeah. You're my employee, you're going to go get an MRI. So he did not. Went back out and pitched again on Sunday, and we told you he left in the second inning, and now he's out with an injury for up to 3 months. One of the starters, one of the big guns for the Mets pitching staff, and so, it's all on him as far as I'm concerned. In fact, if it was me, and it'll never happen because of the Players Association, all that, I'd dock his pay because this was his fault. He was being selfish and not a team player. Why would you not get an MRI in May? This is not September, we're in the middle of a pennant race. This is May with a long season ahead of you. Why would you not go get an MRI just to be sure? He did not, so, I'm old school. I dock his pay, by golly. You can't do what I ask you to do. We're going to cut you back a little bit of your money. We'll take 10% off the top to pay for whatever. So that's just me, and it'll never happen because we're in a day that it's not going to happen. So he's going to get paid full payment, and the Mets are going to take the heat for something he did. It's his fault. It's all on him. That's my opinion. Texas Rangers have lost one of their veteran top pitchers. Cole Hamels been placed on the 10-day disabled list, and the veteran southpaw expected to miss about 8 weeks with an oblique issue. Team has unannounced a timetable for Hamels' return. He was scratched from his scheduled start. He's 33 years old. Earlier this week, after feeling pain in his oblique while warming up in the bullpen, returned to Texas for test on Wednesday, which is when the strain was discovered. So he's on the 10-day DL, but expected to miss about 8 weeks. So another big star out temporarily in Major League Baseball, this time Cole Hamels, the pitcher for the Texas Rangers. And then, I don't know if you've heard, but for the New York Yankees, here come the Judge. Wow, this guy's on fire. 25-year-old Aaron Judge, becoming the face of the New York Yankees, entered the game last night hitting .313 with 12 home runs and 25 RBIs. And then he made some history hitting his 13th home run in the Yankees' 26th game. He is the youngest player to hit 13 home runs in the team's first 26 games of a season for the New York Yankees. Lest you think Judge is doing well, only with cherry-picked, large, arbitrary accomplishments, try this one on for size. He's halfway to Yankee rookie home run record of 29 set back in 1936 by a guy by the name of Joe DiMaggio. So he had 29 in his rookie season for the Yankees. This kid, Aaron Judge, 25 years old, not really a kid, but kid by baseball standards, 25 years old, again nearly halfway to Joe DiMaggio's rookie home run record. So he has, as we said, 13, and DiMaggio's home run record was 29 as a rookie back in 1936. So pretty impressive start, to say the least, for Aaron Judge, the big old burly right-handed swinging batter for the New York Yankees. And so 13 long balls in his first 26 games. And again, the record for the New York Yankees rookie is Joe DiMaggio back in 1936. Pretty incredible. Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Here are some of the specials going on this week at Champion Chevrolet. They've got the 2017 Spark. I want to tell you about that again for $11,975, saving $3,000 off a 2017 Spark. How about the Malibus here at Champion Chevrolet? Malibu LSs, again, 20% off. You're going to save yourself almost $5,000, and so that would be a good way to go right there with the Malibu LS here at Champion Chevrolet. And so all that going on. Of course, I've done all the talking I need to do as far as talking, because the man is here that can do a whole lot better talking, because he'd be the co-owner of Champion Chevrolet. Let's bring him up on the screen and put him right here, and boom, there he is.
Can you hear me now?
And here he is on the screen. Look at him right there. How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good. Can you hear me out? Yep.
Can you hear me?
Your hot
Can you
button's
hear me
on,
now?
you're rolling. Test, 1, 2.
Any static?
How you doing, big dog? Everything good?
Well, yeah, just been running wide open.
I've gathered that this morning. You've already been taking care of folks. I heard a gentleman come in and put down some jingle and paid off, or whatever he did, and got a transaction rolling. So it's going good, and you got foot traffic out here on the lot today. So may start out with a bang, right?
Yes, I've learned. I was off yesterday, and they sold 12 cars, and I was off yesterday. So
Really?
that means I probably need to vacate more.
Tim says, where you can go
yeah,
today?
just take another day or two off.
Tim says, see you Monday.
See ya.
12 yesterday flew out
Yeah.
here. What flew out?
It was almost, I think, 11 of them were new. It was
Wow.
just a new day.
New day.
Mostly trucks.
Trucks?
It was 1500s and 2500s.
Yeah, Tim told me a few minutes ago you've sold out of those the Speedway trucks, if you will. You sold 3 2500 crew cabs so far and 1 1500 crew cab.
Well, it's a great deal. It's how that works is they ship the vehicles to us. We get them ready. They put stickers on them, say official vehicle, official NASCAR, official Chevrolet, and they take them down there and run them all weekend. Like the black diesels, crew cabs are used as tram trucks. If you're down there, they pull people around on trams. And then the driver intro trucks, they're red, white, and blue Silverado 1500s, which all have the big 6.2 liter V8, which is a hard to find engine right now. It's very sought after. We've got a bunch of those as well, and diesels you can't find. I mean, I think we've got maybe 4 or 5 maybe on our lot, none of the expensive ones, and then we get 8, bam, after the race weekend, all diesels, all loaded LTZs, everything on them that you could put on it. Trailer tow mirrors, exhaust brakes, built-in the you know how sometimes people put brake boxes under the dash. This one's got a brake box built into the dash, so you don't have to do that and knock your knee off.
So for people out there that say, what's the advantage of a diesel versus a truck that uses, I guess, conventional gasoline?
Diesels, a lot of people go with diesels because they run longer. They're if you see these big Peterbilt trucks on the road, tractor trailers, you know, those have 500,000 to 1 million miles on them. Diesels get more life out of the engine. Plus, you know, people use them to tow. They get a little bit better fuel economy when they're towing things versus gas. And torque's a little bit better on them. And people are like, oh, I don't want a diesel, it's loud. Well, I promise you, if you come drive one of these new diesels, you can't tell a difference because they've made them so much quieter, plus the sound insulation in these cabs and these trucks. I've had people ride with me when I've driven a diesel truck and they didn't know it was a diesel.
That's neat. So they've improved the technology, obviously. So, talking to Andy Dietrich, co-owner of Champion Chevrolet. We're live here at his store. I'm Tim Copenaver. We're here at Bristol Highway Motor Mile. We do this every Thursday here on the show. And so, what's the hot topic in sports right now? Do you follow horse racing at all? Will you be dialed into the Kentucky Derby?
No.
No.
I have been to Keeneland. I have been to a horse race, but I have not. I will probably watch the Kentucky Derby, but I don't follow it throughout the year.
Well, here's the horse you want to follow. I'm going to give you a little heads up.
Oh, I heard you say something. The one that's got a patch over its eye.
One-eye horse. It's called
One-eye
Patch. That's kind of like I think that's pretty cool.
Well, I guess
Now-
you're going to root for one.
Yeah. So
How
from
about a
horse's
three-legged horse or something?
from a horse's standpoint, if you just have one eye, I'm thinking I'm envisioning whichever one it is. He's going down the track. I mean, I would think that'd be tough to. Maybe it's not a horse with one eye, but anyway, they're supposed to race in the
Well, they
mud.
run with blinders anyway
Well, that's
on,
true.
so
That's true.
he's just instead of blinders here, it's the here. So he's more centered, probably.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
More focused.
More focused.
There you go. It's more focused. I'm going with Patch.
That's how we run here with blinders on. We don't pay attention to what anybody else is saying or doing. We just do what we
You
want
do
to
your
do.
thing. Yeah, that's
We
why
do our thing.
You got
That's,
it.
how do we do that?
How do we do that?
Blinders.
Blinders.
Secret.
Focused.
Secret.
Yeah.
But we may try the patch over one eye, for a year, and just really focus, dial in.
Can you see Tim with a patch over his eye, like a?
After this
sailor.
conversation you and I are having, I may have to wear one for a while after he bops me in my eye.
Oh, we're talking again to our buddy Andy Dietrich. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile, John C. Always like for you to talk about some of the folks that make this thing go. You got some great staff members. You talk and toot the horn of these great staff and make this thing go.
Let's see here.
Please.
We've got Tim Arnold. Almost everybody knows him as Pig. He's had that name for 40 years. He's not sitting at his desk back here. Mike Cole, my used car manager. He drives from Damascus, Virginia every day.
Wow.
Lives right off the Virginia Creeper Trail up there and drives it every single day for the last 10 years.
That's-
and then back home.
What, 30, 40 miles one way easily? If not more?
It's almost an hour to get to his house from here.
Wow. That's dedication.
Well, we all know Tim. We don't need to talk about him anymore. Charlie Birchfield.
We all know Tim.
Yeah, we know Tim. We've got Ron Dunn. We got Bob Bays. We got Stephanie Broadwater in Internet. Kristen Martin in Internet. Cletus Green, who's my Cadillac sales manager, who's he's been here 10 years, and I think he worked for 10 or 12 years with Tim before in Kingsport, so he's been with Tim for over 20 years. We got Lynn Lloyd, he's been here with us since the day we cracked the door open 10 years ago, and then he was in the finance business working at car dealerships before he came here. We got Chris McCall. He drives from Pennington Gap every single day.
Wow. That is a haul.
Yeah, that's a haul, and that's up there in God's country.
That's got to be an hour easily.
Yeah.
Easy from Pennington Gap down to here.
Mm-hmm.
Every bit of it.
Yeah, and I always like to hear the stories, especially like if we get snow here, and his stories on getting home. He's got two big mountains to climb over to get to the house.
Oh, yeah.
He's got some interesting stories. We've got Lloyd Fleener, got Brian Wilder, Glenn Taylor, who's only been here 52 years, only
Rookie.
rookie.
Young pup.
Yeah, we when we bought the store, he came to Tim and I, and he said, I sort of work my own schedule if it's okay with you all. I'm semi-retired. I want to work part of the day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but be off Friday and Saturday, and we're all closed Sunday. Is that okay? And I said, absolutely. So his customers know that, and they work around his schedule because he's been here so long and trustworthy, and
52
he's
years.
great. I mean,
Proof's in the pudding.
we don't ever have to say anything to him. He just gets the job done.
Just get her
People
done.
love him.
Oh, yeah. Great last
And
night.
he will come in. He will make appointments, even though he doesn't work Friday or Saturday. He's here most of those times because he will make an appointment to meet somebody here.
Would you not agree the last name really says it all? So, Glenn Taylor.
How do you say that last name again?
Teller.
How do you pronounce it?
Teller. Little boy up home, I used to beat him up. He'd say, I hate you, Tom Teller. Teller.
You used to beat him up.
Oh, yeah, with a wiffle
You were a
ball
mean
bat.
kid?
Oh, yeah.
A wiffle ball bat.
Remember the little long, slender yellow
Yeah,
ones?
I was playing with one yesterday. In
Good
the yard.
thrashing machine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you were the bully in the neighborhood?
I don't know if I was a bully, but I got my shots into the guy. And he said, I hate you, Tom Teller. And I'd thrash him again.
Kid have to wear a patch after that?
Yeah, I guess that's why I like the Raiders. Which is a whole other story.
Like a pirate.
Shiver me timbers, Olive.
Arr.
Or
Okay. We have... Somebody's calling me. Quit calling me. Okay.
how do they do that?
How do they do that? Marshall Job,
Mm-hmm.
David Palmer's over my internet and BDC department, Jay Hayes, Tom Powers, and Randy Rydell.
Randy Rydell. All good folks.
All good people, and we've been very fortunate here. You see a lot of dealerships, they run ads in the paper for salespeople. Hey, we'll train you this and that and this and that. We've got openings. Over 10 years we've been here, we've never run an ad for a salesperson. We don't have a revolving door here. The people that we hire stay with us, and so it's nice. We can, I guess, in a way, cherry pick and get the good. We only want the good ones because we don't want to bring a bad one in that messes up with the good ones. We want everybody to sort of gel and mesh together and work well together and treat their customers as if, the way Tim and I want them to be treated the same way we treat them. And so we are very fortunate, and we've never ever run an ad for a sales employee.
That's incredible.
So
10 years.
10 years. So most of them, they have career fairs, and they bring people in and hire them for 3 weeks, or train them for 3 weeks after they hire them, and then turn them loose. And they're green peas, and they don't necessarily know how to take care of the customer. They don't know how to show them how everything works on the car, and they don't know how to properly sell them and do the delivery. And so that's what we want. We want the whole package. And so as soon as you get ready to trade again, the first thing that comes to mind is I'll need to go back and see Lloyd or Randy, or not go anywhere else, because you were treated right, you were sold the right way, and basically shown how to use your car.
Get that bell, would you please? There you go. Bink. There you go. Now, before I let you go, we're talking to our buddy Andy Dietrich. Coming up, we're going to take a look at the NBA and the National Hockey League, and also got some college football and a lot of NASCAR to talk about. They're in Talladega this weekend for the Super Speedway down in Talladega, Alabama. We're talking to Andy Dietrich. So, sporty season. Now, right outside, you got, what? How many vets you got sitting out there?
Oh, my gosh. They keep coming in. I think we've got 16 or 17 of them now. I'm going to have to park them on the roof.
So, you got vets. You got Camaros.
We've got convertible Camaros. I think we sold our convertible vet, but all the other vets, the top does lift off like a Target top, or a T-top as you call it back in the olden days. But it's that season. It's vet and Camaro season.
Oh yes, springtime.
I've got 5 Z06s in stock. That's over 600 horsepower. That's a car that almost hit 200 miles an hour, faster than you ever want to go around town. And I've got them. Nobody else does. From Roanoke to Knoxville, nobody's got as many vets, or as big a selection, or as many Z06s. I mean, we're it.
Now, Tim and I were talking about this last week. A guy my size, I said I probably couldn't get in the Corvette. He said, yes, you can. They've redone them. He said even the big boys can get down inside of a vet. True?
Oh, true. It's I've got customers. They may be older customers, and you'd wonder how they get in and out of them, but they sort of roll in and roll out of it. But they do it, and because they love the car. Once you drive it, it's the best driving Corvette they've ever produced. And that's why sometimes people, maybe you're wondering if they got a bad knee or a bad back, how in the world they get in there. They just love it. Now once they get in, it's comfortable. And you can be 6'5" and be comfortable in it.
There's the name of the game. And you got different colors out here. I know you got kind of a powder gray, you got a white one, you got a black one sitting out here.
There's a yellow one there with the black stripes on it. I've got a new thing in over here. It's I guess it's still over here beside the showroom if we didn't sell it. It's a Camaro ZL1. It's Krypton Green. Krypton is the actual color. So Superman. Krypton Green. So it is the greenest of the green.
Krypton Green.
And it's got some black stripes, and it's got the hood scoop in it because it's over 600 horsepower as well. It's sort of a rare bird.
So if I wanted one of you two guys to take me for a drive in a vet, would I take you or let Tim take me?
Oh, you want me to go?
Really?
Yeah, I've done a bunch of laps around the Speedway. We'd go down there.
Why would I not want Tim to drive me?
He drives fast all the time. He's a maniac. He'll tell you it scared him to death. He took a Z06 one day home to his house, and it's a little twisty windy part before he gets to his house, and he said that thing back in, he gunned it too much, and it's got endless amount of power.
Wow.
And the pavement was dry.
Really?
Yeah. If you got to be careful with them.
So if I want to test drive, let one of you two guys take me on a test drive.
We'll go to the Speedway and drive around the track.
That'd be sweet right there.
Oh, it's fun. It sounds good because it's got what they call on most of these out here a butterfly exhaust. It's a flap in it that opens and closes. So if it opens, it's really loud, and when it closes, it's quiet. And so when you gun it inside that track, that exhaust opens up that throaty sound, and it is mean inside that bowl.
Yeah. And
it just roars and echoes.
Yeah. It reverberates. Isn't that the word?
Yes, reverberates.
Yeah. Makes lots of noise going down the road.
It's mean, get out of my way sound.
I love it.
And I saw Charlie Morgan yesterday.
Did you really?
I saw him. I went over to Kingsport and ate lunch at the Bagel Exchange, and he waltzed in. He said that he had one of his old players that was just finished up his finals at UT came in back to Kingsport to see him and wanted to take him out and buy him lunch. So he was there. One of his old players buying him lunch yesterday. He was looking good, and he's looking forward to retirement and
Great guy.
New chapter in his life.
Great guy. Charlie Morgan, class act. That's Dobbins Minutes of Loss. I can tell you that. He was a good guy. Did a lot for those kids off the court.
Yeah.
More than people realize.
He should be in the Tennessee Hall of Fame,
Yes, he should.
Before too long.
I would think. Northeast Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame, no question.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Dietrich in here with us, co-owner of Champion Chevrolet. You going to come back here in a little while and try this all over again?
I'm here all day, unfortunately. You'll have to see me.
We got to figure out this 500th show.
Yeah.
Every time he
Even though we're on 700th show now,
yeah.
I mean, we got to go back and party for the 500.
We're at 511, but the 500th show, we were going to do it Saturday. Now we got to bump it because of the baseball tournament. I don't know when we're going to do it. Following week is Mother's Day. So then you look in Memorial Day. I mean, it's like, and there's only 234 days now to Christmas. So
we'll get it in before 1,000. I'm not worried.
No, I'm not either.
We may just have to do it during the week.
I think that's what we want to do.
I mean, like just on a Thursday for this.
Just roll with it and be done with it.
Just be done. We'll have food and fireworks and
have a big time.
Dancing on the ceiling outside.
My only request is my 500th show, if I could just get Tim Comer one time on the radio and say how they do that. That's all I would ask.
I'll work on it.
There you go. He's the man. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet. We're talking hockey and NBA next here on show number 511 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
There you go again. We're talking to our buddy Larry Shively, the athletic director at Dobbins Bennett. So baseball gets cranked up. Also softball cranking up. Everybody gets cranked up. Let's talk about the Lady Indian softball going into the tournament.
Lady Indians, we play tonight. If I told Coach Swinney a few minutes ago, our interim softball coach, he's filling in for Coach Hubbard. Coach Hubbard had a back issue there, so he's been out a good chunk of the season, and Coach Swinney has filled in admirably. We play today at 4:30 at Crockett, and the game has so many ramifications. And I told him, just have the girls hit the ball up in the air, and it might end up in Kansas. The wind, it's 50 miles an hour out here right now. So this is a big game. If we win this game, it would make my life as the softball tournament host over here at Dobbins Bennett on Saturday a lot easier, because it would make us definitively number 2. If we happen to lose and Crockett wins tonight, then there's a 3-way tie for second, and then the spreadsheets come out and the smoke starts coming out of my ears. So I told him, just win. Make my life a lot easier and just win the game. So that's today at 4:30, and we roll right into the district tournament up at Indian Highland Saturday. We're going to play at 10:30, 12:30, and 2:30. Losers go home. Winners turn around and play Monday. So exciting times for our softball team.
We're talking to Larry Shively, the athletic director of Dobbins Bennett. Appreciate it. I know he's very, very busy. Take a few minutes promoting the program, which he does and does very well, loves doing it. So then you also have tennis and soccer postseason. Let's take a look at the tennis team. What's going on there right now?
Okay, so our boys are 7-4, and our girls are 6-7. We're a young team, but I think our depth is going to pay off in the next few years. Coach Gusky, our head tennis coach, Sarah Wallingford helps him out, passing the ball to a Kingsport City Schools employee, and Tom Parnell. We dusted old Tom Parnell off, an old tennis player from the early 80s here at Dobbins Bennett. We love him. We're so glad that he's volunteering his time, and it's always great to have former Indians helping out our student athletes, and it means the world to him, and I'm sure it means the world to our tennis players. So, Our tennis conference is a tough conference, but our young kids are getting lots of experience, and district tournament starts next week. So, it's do or die time for those kids, and we're excited to go watch them play.
We're talking again to.
Let's see, what else? We got some. We have some. I'm sorry, I get fired up here. I've just had 2 pots of coffee today.
You got track and field and soccer. Tell me about those.
Track and field. So we get to the nitty-gritty in the track season here. Coach Bingham, legendary coach in East Tennessee, and his wonderful staff have had a solid season. And we've set some school records with some of our relay teams, and looking to make a run and send several kids on down to the state tournament. So we need to be running our best times of the school year this year, and we have him on pace to do that. We lean on his experience. Coach Bingham is plug and play. You just put him in there, man, and he gets it done. So what a wonderful kids we have in the track program, man. Soccer plays a first-round elimination game at Indian Highland on Monday at 6 o'clock versus Volunteer. So Science Hill's the number 1 seed in soccer. We're number 2, and if you lose that first-round game, you go home. So Coach Rutherford and his staff have senior night tomorrow night up at Indian Highland at 7 o'clock. You come out and support those soccer kids. They play really hard, and I enjoy watching them. So a lot of things going on, Tom.
Wow,
springtime.
Absolutely. I know you're very, very busy. I won't keep you, but one more question. Again, let's talk spring football for Graham Clark and Indian football. What's going on with spring practice right now?
Well, first of all, I made the mistake of going out to the football field on the first day, and I about jumped in some of those drills, and then, I'm a football coach at heart still. I mean, that's my baby. And it was so good to see the football in there and those kids running around, and our drill work, working on our fundamentals. Our numbers look good. A lot of young kids getting work. Of course, we have lots of multi-sport athletes here at Dobbins Bennett, so we have some of our kids in track and soccer and different things. So, but the vibe was good, a lot of enthusiasm, spirits were high, kids were working hard, and we look forward to a good season. I think we're going to scrimmage next Thursday, I believe, versus Elizabeth. So we look forward to it.
We're talking to, again, Athletic Director Larry Shively. Last question, a website, where can folks go to find out everything they need to know about Dobyns Bennett Sports?
Go to K12K.com and then click on Dobyns Bennett, and then there's our athletic department webpage, all the schedules, all the contact information for each one of our head coaches. Now, with that being said, we're in the process of migrating all that information to a brand new website that will be rolled out probably early this summer. And we want to have a crisper, cleaner look, and just always looking to improve all of our things that we do in the athletic department, and that is one of them. So that's something to look forward to.
I know you're very, very busy, obviously, with what you've talked about. I certainly appreciate your time very, very much. Thank you, and we'll get back in touch soon, talk some more promoting Dobyns Bennett Sports, all right?
I can talk Dobyns Bennett Sports all day long, and I appreciate you for all that you do for all the kids in East Tennessee. You're a good man.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon, all right?
Take care. Roll Tribe.
Yes, sir. Great man right there. Thank you. Larry Shively again with us again from Dobyns Bennett, checking us out and kind of finding out what's going on in Dobyns Bennett Sports. So good time right there. We appreciate him very, very much. And, wow, it is a busy time. Doug Fritz is going to join us coming up at the top of the hour. And Doug Fritz will, again, give us the very latest on high school baseball and softball, and gets kind of set to preview all the tournaments, which are due to start today, weather permitting. But we got rain in the forecast and colder weather. It's blackberry winter, so we got some colder temperatures coming in over the next couple of days. So, again, we'll see how that goes, and we'll get it rolling and see if we can't get this softball and baseball rolling. But Doug's going to come by and join us coming up here in just a few minutes. NBA from last night. Cleveland, the Cavaliers, up 2-0. Again, LeBron took the team on his shoulders and beat the Toronto Raptors in Cleveland, 125-103. Cavaliers, defending world champions of the NBA, now up 2-0 against the Raptors. They'll play again moving into Toronto tomorrow night. The Cavaliers are going on the road, but the Raptors trying to get a little momentum. They're down 2-0 to the best of 7. My boys last night bounced back. The San Antonio Spurs, it was a costly win, losing Tony Parker. Greg Popovich, the coach, said it's not good, so his status for the rest of this playoff is very much up in the air. He was literally carried off the floor by his teammates, but the Spurs won in San Antonio, 121-96 to even that best of 7 at 1 apiece, and they'll now shift to Houston for Game 3 tomorrow night for the Rockets and the San Antonio Spurs. Tonight, Boston, the Celtics move that series into Washington against the Wizards. Celtics up 2-0. And also Utah and Golden State. Again, Utah just trying to hang because Golden State looks to be the dominant team in the NBA this year, along with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So Utah's going to try and salvage a win tonight in Golden State before they head into the first of the week in Utah. But again, 1-0 lead for the Golden State Warriors. They beat them the other night, 106-94. But again, last night, Cleveland 125-103 over Toronto. Cavaliers up 2-0. Also last night, the San Antonio Spurs take on Houston and beat the Rockets in San Antonio 121-96 to even that best of 7 at 1 game apiece. On the ice of the National Hockey League last night, it was the Penguins skating past Washington 3-2. Now the Penguins lead that series 3-1. They're going to try and finish it later on this weekend. Also last night, it was Anaheim, the Ducks skating past Edmonton 4-3. That series now tied at 2 in the best of 7. One on the ice tonight, Ottawa skates in New York against the Rangers. They went into double overtime on Saturday. Ottawa won that one 6-5 on Tuesday. The Rangers won that one 4-1, so Ottawa leads the best of 7 there, 2-1. So that'll be Game 4 tonight on the ice in New York, the Rangers and the Ottawa Senators. The Predators back on the ice tomorrow night in St. Louis against the Blues. And again, the Predators trying to finish it off, wrap up that series, leading 3-1 to the best of 7. So again, tonight, 1 game on the ice, Ottawa against the Rangers in New York. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Quick break. We'll be right back. We've got coming up, Doug Fritz will join us from the Johnson City Press. Also coming up, we'll come in next and take a look at NASCAR. We're going to move into Talladega this weekend, see what's happening at the Talladega Super Speedway. We'll talk NASCAR next here on show number 511 from Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Highway Motor Mile, Johnson City. You're watching, listening to the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
The deals are heating up for Truck Month at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. Over 300 new Chevys to choose from, all with incredible savings. $11,000 off MSRP on 16 Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs. Check out the savings online at championjc.com. 16 Silverado Crew Cab, $33,685. 16 Track, $17,460. 16 Equinox, $21,615. 16 Traverse, $27,365. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Let's take a look at NASCAR. Again, they're moving into Talladega this weekend. The winner of the race back in the spring, we talk for everything we talk about, the Earnhardts dominating Talladega. Well, let me tell you who's the hottest team right now in NASCAR at Talladega would be Team Penske. Wow, I did not realize this. Joey Logano winning the race last fall. He is not the only Team Penske driver who's had success recently at Talladega. Brad Keselowski has combined with his Penske teammate to win 4 out of the last 5 races at Talladega. Logano won in 2015 in the fall. Last year's fall race, Keselowski won in the fall of 2014. He won the spring last year. In fact, Keselowski is the top driver of the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series at the Alabama track. Brad Keselowski, in 16 career starts, owns 4 wins, 6 top 5s, 9 top 10s, and an average finish of 15. So, again, if you're going to put your money on some drivers this weekend at Talladega, you look no further than Team Penske with Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski. That's an incredible stat. Again, in 16 starts at Talladega, he has 4 wins, 6 top 5s, and 9 top 10s. So obviously, he likes Talladega. Dale Earnhardt Jr., again, ready to make his final spring race at Talladega, his top track. He has 6 wins there, tied with Jeff Gordon's total for second all-time. Of course, his late father, Dale Sr., holds the track record with 10 victories, and so that's what's going on there. Joey Logano, again, would be the favorite going in because he won the race there last fall, and Keselowski won it last spring. So Team Penske, red hot. the Super Speedway of Talladega. There was some movement on top of the standings last weekend after Richmond. Again, you have, of course, Kyle Larson still your leader. Then you had Martin Truex Jr. jumping from third to second following his 10th place showing. Chase Elliott dropped one spot to third after finishing 24th. So it goes like this. Your top 5, or actually top 10 right now: Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, Jamie McMurray, Jimmy Johnson, Clint Bowyer, and Kyle Busch. And from a manufacturer standpoint, the number one car right now in NASCAR would be a bow tie. A Chevrolet from Kyle Larson is your leader right now. He has a 40-point lead over Martin Truex Jr. So that's what's going on there. Also this weekend is the 30th anniversary of the NASCAR qualifying record by Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. 30 years ago, NASCAR Hall of Famer Bill Elliott set the NASCAR qualifying record at 212.8 miles per hour. Holy smokes, that's a lap at Talladega Motor Speedway. Of course, his son Chase will take the track in qualifying for Sunday's Geico 500. And so, think about that. Bill Elliott, NASCAR qualifying record of 212. Well, there he is. Al is right on. Ooh, look at him right now. I got my new ball cap to wear. I like it. Come on over and sit down. Let's get this man on the screen talk here for a few minutes. We're talking about a man from Grip, our title sponsor of the show, and we love. Is it brought root beer? Oh baby, I love it. Oh, he's taking care of me. He's like Santa Claus coming in here on May the 4th. Let me hit that button right there. Go ahead and put that headset on, and we'll get you on here in just a second. Again, Al's with us from Grip. Again, the 30th anniversary of Bill Elliott's qualifying record, 212.809 miles per hour. Unbelievable. So the 30th anniversary, again, that's what's going on at Talladega. On the track, let's run that down for you starting tomorrow. Again, at the Talladega Super Speedway. Xfinity Series practice twice tomorrow, then Monster Energy Cup practice, and then they'll do pole qualifying on Saturday for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And of course, the Monster Energy will qualify on Saturday at 4 o'clock at Talladega, and they will run the Geico 500 on Sunday at 2 o'clock. And the Xfinity Series, the Sparks Energy 300, will roll off on Saturday at 1 o'clock. And in the field for the race on Saturday, some of the Cup drivers doing double duty: Ty Dillon, Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones, Joey Logano, Eric Amarola, and Casey Kane will make up the 6 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series regulars. Will be in the Xfinity race this weekend. So the Xfinity points as we head to Talladega: top 10, Elliott Sadler, Justin Allgaier, William Byron, Daniel Hemrick, Darrell Wallace Jr. Bubba, Ryan Reed, Blake Cook, Michael Annett, Matt Tifft, and Brennan Poole are the top 10. Again, in the Xfinity Series, we will talk to Pat Patterson tomorrow, live from Talladega Super Speedway. We're going to be at Mortgage Investors Group tomorrow, broadcasting live, and so we'll be there having a big time for tomorrow. All right, he's here. Let's get him on the screen. Pop that up. There he is. Again, from Grip Energy Drink, my man Al. Let's get him over here on camera, and boom, there he is. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing, Tom?
Good. I'm liking the hat. Oh,
yep.
Got me one too.
Yep. You can give one away, and you got your shirt over there.
Awesome.
And I brought you some Grip Energy race tickets there that you can give away as well to the Kingsport Speedway.
That's coming up on Saturday, correct?
Correct. Weather permitting. If for some reason we're going to make a call sometime this afternoon, weather hasn't changed very much. It looks like the rain's set in for Saturday, but you never know. It can change. You lived around here long enough. It can change half a day. It could be. So we're hoping it blows over and, we're going to be able to race. But if not, it looks tentatively like we're just going to push it to next Saturday.
Sure.
And we'll end up racing it then.
We're talking to Al Biker again with Grip Energy Drink, again our title sponsor of the show. We love Grip, and brought me some root beer. I'm out of root beer, and so on the ticket you have the 6 flavors. Again, run those down for us, would you please?
Okay, so basically our original flavors are lemon lime, root beer, pink grapefruit, pineapple, and white grape. Pretty excited about the production run that's going on right now. We've got our sugar-free pink grapefruit coming out and our sugar-free orange. The taste is the best tasting 0-calorie drink I've ever tasted. You drink some of the other brands and all, they have a little bit of an aftertaste. This, you can't even tell you're drinking sugar-free. You have to look at the label. So we put a lot of effort into it. The packaging, we'll release some of that here next week. pretty aggressive with the new packaging and all that we have. So can't wait to get it out and get it to market.
So sugar-free.
Yep.
Orange.
Yes, sir.
And what's the other sugar-free?
Pink grapefruit.
Pink grapefruit. I got to write this down because I got to learn this. Pink grapefruit, and so it's out, ready to be distributed and consumed.
It's in the production facility in Pennsylvania right now. Should have it here within 7 to 10 days.
All right, and the regular flavors are lemon lime, pink grapefruit, root beer, and pineapple.
White grape.
And white grape.
Yep.
So there you go. And so all those are available again at all Food Cities, correct?
Correct.
Yep. And so you can check them out. Tell us from not from a technical standpoint, but tell us what separates Grip from other energy drinks.
Well, one of the things is we use all natural ingredients, and a lot of the other brands, our competitors, are artificially made flavors, colors, some of the other things that they put in there is all artificially made. We use natural colors, natural flavoring, all B vitamins, biotin for your hair, skin, and nails, natural cane sugar along with stevia, which is a natural sweetener from a plant in South America, 0 calorie. So we try to do all those things. And then along with our sugar-frees, I don't really want to go too much into it now, but we will release the ingredients and all on there, and I think a lot of people will be surprised of how we came up with the sugar-free.
So these are chock full of vitamins, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All your B vitamins. We have some other things in there as well. Niacin. It's vegan friendly. It's actually kosher. That makes a difference to anyone. But like I said, we've tried to not be the aggressive, get your heart racing type energy drink. More of a, hey, I need a little bit of a kickstart today, want to feel good today, be focused today, not too focused. This is the drink to use. Now we will have one coming for the people that want that extra energy, kickstart, so to speak, type thing, and that'll be coming out roughly about 3 to 4 weeks after the sugar-frees come out. Another aggressive package, labeling and all, and you'll be able to tell that's for extreme
high octane.
Exactly.
Got the high octane pedal.
Exactly.
Got you. Again, we're talking to Al again from Grip Energy Drink. You can see it on the screen, our title sponsor of the show, and we love promoting this. And now we got some T-shirts and ball caps. We get some more of those to give away when we go to our different stops. So that is really neat. I'm excited about the sugar-free orange and the pink grapefruit's in production right now. It is marketed here in Piney Flats. So again, or in the Tri-Cities here in Piney Flats. So it is a local company originating here local. The production line, of course, as he says, in Pennsylvania, but it all stops and starts right here in the Tri-Cities, right?
Correct. And we want to thank Food City for giving us an opportunity with them to get our brand out there and help us launch this thing, and very excited to be partnered with them.
Yep. Now let's talk about Saturday. Weather permitting, it's either this Saturday or next Saturday. Tell me about, again, what's coming to town. It is very, very exciting. We got a chance to do the commercial and some great racing. If it's not this Saturday, we can't control the rain. I heard it all week long at Bristol. Well, the Speedway is, God controls the rain bug. We don't control the rain. So if it's raining Saturday and we can't race, we'll bump it back a week. But whenever they race and get on the high banks, the concrete jungle in Kingsport, you're going to be treated to some great racing, and Grip Energy All-Star Tour coming to town. So tell us about it.
So the thing that makes this a little bit different from some of the other races they have at Kingsport, okay, so yes, it's the trucks. Pretty much lap time wise, I was there Sunday doing some testing with some guys, just checking out what was going on. They're about probably a half a second slower than the late models that they run there, and that's more along like the rule package, the reason why they are that way. But the trucks are pretty exciting. We do have some late model drivers that are kind of switching over and driving the trucks if it goes off on Saturday and it doesn't interfere with their schedule next week. But they also have a really cool division called the Carolina Vintage. Got to see some of the cars on display at the Food City Knoxville. I'm telling you, these things are like showpieces, like 65 Mustangs, something that you would take and you would put on that auction thing that they have on TV getting big money. and a 66 Chevy Malibu. These things are just mint. I would not race them myself, but there they are. They take them out and race them every weekend, and it's really a fun division to check out. They have a lot firmer suspension. The tires kind of stick out pretty wide on the cars, but again, these guys are just as competitive. They're racers, and they want to be the first one to the checkered flag, so it's pretty exciting to watch.
Talked to Al Albiker again. That's coming up again on Saturday, weather permitting. And of course, he'll let us know if it's canceled. And all indications it probably will be, to be honest with you. And we got to be honest up front about it. So it's not official, but the weather is not conducive to anything outdoors this weekend. We got baseball. Doug's already talked to us about baseball and softball, and that looks like that may be hanging in the balance. But when we do race, it'll be a great event. Tickets are how much, and where do we get those tickets?
Okay, so the tickets. You can go to the supertrucks.com. They do have a way on there that you can buy advance tickets, but right now you can purchase them at the Kingsport Speedway. They are $12 general admission, $8 senior citizens, 6 to 12 $6, and 5 and under are free.
Yeah, so I don't do this right. Look, there it is, my big old fat finger. Grip Energy Super Pass, Saturday, May the 6th. Kingsport Speedway, $12 ticket again. And so this is the most awesome show on wheels, the Southeast Super Trucks. And the website, by the way, is southeasttrucks.com. You can check it out for yourself. But these guys get in there, and ladies get in, they get after it, don't they?
Yeah, they do have a few women drivers that have stepped up this year and are driving the trucks, and seem to be doing pretty well. Since they're rookies, I mean, they're still in the mix. They've only had the one event so far because they had a rain out earlier in the year, but looking forward to seeing them. And we'll be at Food City number 657 today doing some sampling, and then tomorrow we'll be at the Weber City Food City number 820 from 2 to 6 tomorrow.
657 is where? Is that Eastman Road?
That's Clinchfield.
Clinchfield, that's Tommy's
Yes.
store. We were down there last Friday for the Midnight Madness sale, so they'll be down there doing some grip sampling today, and tomorrow they'll be at Food City in Weber City.
Correct.
Yeah, doing some sampling. You got to check it out. I mean, I'm a huge connoisseur, and here's the cool thing, and I'm not blowing smoke because I don't have to, but everybody I've given a sample to has liked this drink. In fact, Jeremy Livers here, we're going to be at his place tomorrow. He said, can you bring another sample pack? And I said, absolutely, because his employees snapped those up. In fact, Julie said after we gave her samples about a month ago, she went to Food City, and at that point there was a buy one, get one free, so she loaded up on the pink grapefruit. She loves those. So once you consume one of these, you're hooked. At least I am. I love the root beer.
I drink 2 a day every day. I've been doing it for the past 2 years, and it just becomes a part of your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And again, because there are benefits from drinking the drink, like I said, it's no different. I've drunk coffee for many, many, many years, but you don't get the benefits of the B vitamins and all like we have with the drink.
Before I met Al, I drank an XYZ competitive energy drink on occasion, and I would get, about an hour after I drank it, I could just kind of feel a little jittery, and I thought, I don't want to do this. That is not the case with Grip, I can tell you. In fact, you can, as he said, drink a couple a day, and I do. I'll do a root beer in the morning and a root beer in the afternoon, and it's awesome. So Grip, you see it on the screen, GRIPP. There's the ball cap. I'm going to start wearing that thing with pride. Grip energy drink. And so at your local Food City, you can pick those up, and they're individually packaged, and so they're easy to handle, look like a grenade, and it's called Grip energy drink. And again, lemon lime, pink grapefruit, root beer, pineapple, white grape, and then very soon, sugar-free orange and sugar-free pink grapefruit.
Correct.
Good stuff.
Yep.
So Chris, I guess he was going to come by and talk to us today. He drives the Grip machine at the Kingsport Speedway, and I guess something came up, but he wasn't here. But Al's here. Give you some taters. Al's in the house, and so we appreciate you very, very much. What do you want to leave us with today?
I don't know. Pray that it doesn't rain and we can get the race in. But other than that, if we don't get to see you at the racetrack this weekend, we'll see you next weekend there.
Sure. And he'll make a decision. Let me know, and I'll pass it on to you to let you know whether they're going this weekend or not. And again, I'm going to be honest with you. It does not look good for anything outside. It's blackberry winter, got the rain coming, cooler temperatures, and it's going to warm back up on Monday. So next weekend, for Mother's Day weekend, the forecast looks very, very good this far out. So if they can't this weekend, they'll go next weekend, but we'll let you know. And Al, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you coming by and doing a great job. And I love promoting his drink, and he gives me samples to pass out to folks, and I'm passing fast I can pass them, because I believe in the product. It's a great drink, and it's good. These are good. And the little people, I got one that digs the pink grapefruit. The other one digs the lemon lime. So the little people are digging them too. So in fact, they've taken them to their school in their backpack during recess, and so they got some of the other kids wanting some of the yeah, they've started something. So, yeah, is a happy problem to have, but it's good stuff. So
but we certainly appreciate you and your listeners and all, and look forward to doing a lot of events this summer and spending some time with you and getting the word out there.
It's the name of the game. You have an open invitation. Anytime you want to come by, you come by, all right?
All right, we appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very
man.
much.
Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll talk Doug Fritz talking baseball and softball next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 511. And they said it would never work. We'll be right back right after you hear this.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
We are back live here again at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City, the home of Tim Cobenaver and Andy Dietrich, and I love these guys. I love coming over and hanging with them every week. In fact, Andy's come back here in a little while to talk, and I've got a confirmation, which I'm very excited about. When we do the 500th show, Tim's going to come over, and it's hard to get him to do this. He says he's going to come over on the air and go, how'd they do that? Because normally he does it on TV. So how do they do that? It's a good way to segue into this guy right here. I don't see how he does it. Him and Angie and Joe Avento. These guys are scattered to the wind here this time of year. Doug Fritz from the Johnson City Press is here with us, and we got lots to cover, and we want to say good morning, sir, or now, I guess, good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Good. Got my Grip Energy Drink ball cap on. Got my root beer up here. It's all good, and here we go. Let's jump here and talk. Let's go baseball, softball. Let's break it down. AAA baseball, AA baseball, single A baseball, and of course the weather's going to play havoc. We got this front coming in. It's going to be raining, cold, blackberry winter, so it's going to really mess up the scheduling. But let's go as if it was how it is scheduled for right now, starting today and tomorrow, and kind of jump here and tell us about it, would you please?
All right, you want to start with the AAA baseball. They have they're playing that thing at Daniel Boone, but they can kind of use Dobbins Bennett's field as a backup side, I think, for that first round. Now the AA is going to be playing at DB, but I think from what I understand, there's an agreement that if they need to bump it for a day to get things rolling, they can. And that could come into play because they're supposed to start things tomorrow with 3 games. Tomorrow. Golly, today is Thursday, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah, let me catch up on my days. Tomorrow they're going to start, and there's 3 games scheduled, and the weather looks really bad. I just don't see how they're going to be playing baseball out at Daniel Boone anyway. I mean, you really need if the forecast is correct, and we often know it's not, it's going to be hard to play at a place like Daniel Boone or any grass field with the dirt infield and so forth. So, but it's going to be a really good tournament once they get it going, unless they have to condense things and get it all packed down, which the thing I'm most interested about with the district tournaments is how's this pitch count rule going to come into play. And when you start factoring in, rainy weather, and you get in a game and you use 4 guys and you burn 4 guys for 25 pitches, and so you got 4 guys you can't use in the next game. I mean, that starts getting in some serious depth in your pitching staff. Especially if you're trying to win the elimination game, where you have to play for that.
Yes, you got to get to the next round. So, for folks out there who don't know, again, we're talking Doug Fritz, Johnson City Press. Refresh my memory about the pitch count rule, because it's new and some folks aren't aware of it or haven't really figured it out. So, what is the rule?
Well, I don't know what all the tournaments are doing, but the AAA actually hired somebody to count the pitches, and they're going to be sitting in the home team's dugout. This is what Dave Onge told me. And they don't. And I told Dave, I said, well, what they need to do is, just so everybody knows, it's above board. If a kid's getting to one of the thresholds, which I don't have them memorized, but I think they're like 25, 55, 75, and 120. That's just off the top of my head. That may be a little bit off. But why not have the PA guy go, okay, that's pitch number 24. His next pitch will be number 25. Everybody knows if he throws that next pitch, he can't pitch the next day. And then you get to the next threshold, it's a 2-day rest. But apparently they don't want that, and they're going to keep it. They're going to keep it, and they're going to meet with the coaches and the umpires apparently between innings. Hopefully it won't slow the game down any, but it probably will.
So the bottom line is, the more you pitch on the different plateaus, the different levels, the deeper into the game you pitch, the more pitches you use. That tells you how many days you got to wait to pitch again, correct?
Right, so it's 1 day for 25, 2 for 55, 3 for 75, and I think 4. And you're talking about 4 days rest. So let's say the district tournament starts on Friday on time as they're planning, and you pitch at, say, 120 pitches. You're done for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You couldn't come back till Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So, and if you, like I said, if Boone and Crockett are playing each other in the first round, that's a tight game. It's going to be back and forth. I think it's going to be both pretty good baseball teams, and they're going to do whatever they can to win that game. And whoever wins that, they use 4 or 5 guys to do it, and they just all happen to throw 25 pitches, which that may be a little bit unlikely, but certainly possible.
Burn up those arms.
Then you go into Saturday's game if everything goes on schedule, and you got to play Dobbins Bennett, and you've used 4 guys that you can't put out there the next day. The flip side of that is if you play Friday and get rain Saturday, then all those guys are fresh again. They're ready to go on Sunday. So it could work either way.
Weather could play for you, or weather could play against you. We're talking to Doug Fritz of Johnson City Press. You see on the screen, we're live here at Champion Chevrolet, the home of Tim Copenhaver and Andy Dietrich and all these great staff folks. So AAA, Science Hill, Volunteer, this is all scheduled. Again, this is all big asterisk because of the rain coming. Tomorrow, Scienceville Volunteer, Tennessee High, Sullivan Central, Daniel Boone and Crockett in day one. All this going on Friday. Then Dobbins Bennett with the coin flip wins the championship, the regular season. Tim and I were talking about this before the show. To settle, I'm just amazed. I didn't realize this, but Angie told me yesterday on the show that the Big Seven, the AAA, which is the premier baseball conference, they have no tiebreaker system. They have a coin flip. Now, in football and basketball, they got, if the wind's blowing east to west and the lights are, they got all these different variables, which I understand. They can really go into 5, 6, 7 different ways to establish a tiebreaker. Apparently in baseball, 3 out of the last 7 years has been decided by coin flip. And so they got to come up with a system to, Tim said have a 1-game playoff. And that's very doable too. Have a 1-game playoff, or have some things in place, home record, non-conference record, but anyway, they don't. Bottom line is DB is the number 1 seed going in by virtue of a coin flip. So Scienceville Volunteer, Tennessee High Central, Boone Crockett. How do you see those games?
Well, and I like your idea about a playoff. And in football, they have the 10-yard overtime procedure, for stuff like that. So, in basketball, you play 4 minutes for an overtime, which is half a quarter. Why not have the game Scienceville and DB go over to Cardinal Park, flip for home field advantage? That's not that big of a deal, and have them play 3 innings. And to play half a game. The only problem is you might wind up playing 12 because if it's tied or whatever. But you could play for that.
I like that ain't my baby. That was Tim's idea. And I like that because forget the coin flip, settle it where it should be settled on the field.
But the problem with that is, again, you get in that pitch count rule and you start using guys trying to win the conference championship on the week of the district tournament. You're going to have coaches that don't want to do that. We talked earlier this morning. I don't see why they can't just say fewest runs allowed in conference games. Then you get down to the end of the season, like DB played Crockett the other day, had to win to tie Scienceville. Why not just have, DB say they'd given up 20 runs in their conference game this year, and Scienceville given up 23. DB knows going into the Crockett game, hey, we have to hold them to 2 runs to win this thing, to get they're going to tie them anyway, but to get to the first seed for this tournament. But that, and that way you take away people trying to run up the score by saying runs scored. Just fewest runs allowed. It's a good baseball measure because you're always trying to hold them. You're always trying to shut people out. That's what you're trying to do.
Least runs wins games. Here's the bottom line. They got to come up with a better system for the kids. They play all these games and they get down to here it is, the conference championship, and all the sweat and the equity, not the equity, but the sweat and blood and tears that you've played for all season comes down to a coin flip.
And the kids aren't even there. It's the coaches in a room together. The kids are in class. So it's like that's not
And the fan base and the kids.
It's it's not good.
And it's the only one that has that because the AA and single A they have tiebreaker systems in place. So anyway, Big 7 conference got to get it together and come up with a tiebreaker for these kids. So in AAA baseball, again, any dark horses? I know Dobbins been at Scienceville, the front runners. Any dark horses in the AAA? Do you think?
Well, I think the winner between Boone and Crockett becomes the dark horse. I think at Tennessee High, I picked them as a dark horse in my preview because but I think they're really almost a fringe favorite. But if you're looking for a true dark horse, it's the winner of that Boone Crockett game because either of those 2 teams is capable of getting hot, winning a couple of games. I don't know if they can necessarily win the district tournament, but they could sneak in there and surprise somebody and get to the region. So I think there's a potential there for one of those 2 teams to become the dark horse.
I'm leaning back on my friend Tim Copenhaver, who's a big baseball guru. He says Tennessee High's got a couple of kids on, they got a couple of stud pitchers. So when they're out on the mound, they've got a chance, and so they got really 2 good quality pitchers. They take on Central. I would assume they'll throw Michael Akert. I saw him against Elizabeth, and the kid's got a rubber arm, and he just hadn't had much help all season behind him at Sullivan Central. And I don't know that's going to be him, but again, as you said, it's a one-trick pony. If you don't win tomorrow or Saturday, whenever they play that single elimination, your season's over. So AAA, so if you had to go down and shake it out, DB or Scienceville, and these guys are going to play each other again more than likely in the regionals. So for the district, who do you think may win this?
Well, Dave Angie and I were talking about this yesterday. He made the best point was that coin flip means a lot because of what it does for your pitching staff. Scienceville, granted, should beat Volunteer, but you can't really go in there and say, well, I'm going to throw my number 5 guy against them. You can't afford to do that. Now, I don't know maybe they'll do that, but me personally, I couldn't do that. Whereas DB, they don't have to make that decision. They're going in fresh. They're playing 1 fewer game, using at least 1 fewer pitcher, and that'll that kind of flows through the whole tournament, gives them a big edge. So I'm going on that and picking DB because I think DB and Science Hill are really, really even. And I saw them play over here at TVA Credit Union Ballpark, and I saw two teams that were really even, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. And it's important to win the district because of what the District 2 teams have been able to do through the years in that region semifinal game. I mean, it's always been tough, and I don't know who's going to come out down there, but if my memory doesn't fail me, I think Sevier County's still got that one real good ace pitcher down there. So you got all kinds of little traps you can fall into there.
Let's ask the man himself. Mr. Copenhaver, District 2, who is strong down there, please, sir?
Does Sevier County still have one of those two stud pitchers left? The Lingenfelter kid? He's not as good as Lingenfelter.
I'm telling you, this guy knows high school baseball. He is the guru.
And I tell you, it's one thing through the years that I've lost touch with 2 AAA, 2 AA, 2A. We've got so much stuff going on here, especially in the spring. It's really hard to keep up with the District 2 teams, and it'll be the districts get through when I start looking and see what comes out down there. It's just hard to keep up with, which is a good thing because it means more teams are involved doing better things, and we don't just have just Science Hill baseball to deal with anymore, or just Science Hill and Unicoi. There's a whole array of teams that do some good things.
A lot of coverage, and that's why Johnson City Press does such a great job with their sports section. That's why we subscribe to it and use it as one of the reference tools for the show. AA baseball, again, you got the Three Rivers. Of course, we'll be covering Elizabethton. We've got Elizabethton today, weather permitting, although I see the clouds building back here behind us. But we got a JV game we're going to broadcast, a little bonus coverage. Get ready for the tournament, which starts tomorrow. It'll be 4:15 airtime, 4:30 first pitch. It'll be Elizabethton's JV against the Sullivan East JV at Twin Stadium. We'll have that for you here a little bit later on this afternoon. Again, weather permitting, and the wind's kicking up, but we'll see if we can't get it in before the rains hit. AA tournament starts tomorrow. Again, Happy Valley and Elizabethton. We'll get it started, weather permitting, at 3:30. We're bringing Cyclone baseball as far as they go in postseason play. So the AA tournament, to me, has the makings of having a barn-burning tournament. You've got Happy Valley, Elizabethton, Johnson County, Sullivan East, North and South. And then, of course, you've got Unicoi County, who lost on senior night. Sullivan North upset them, which was huge. The North Golden Raiders rose up and knocked off Unicoi County, so they still go as the number 1 seed. But pretty good tournament, and I would think there's going to be some upsets along the way there.
Yeah, you could sit here and tell me Elizabethton's going to win, South's going to win, Unicoi's going to win, Sullivan East is going to win, and I would not have a way to argue against any of those 4 teams. I still think that Unicoi is a favorite because they could trot out really 4 quality pitchers out there to the mound, and that's going to be a big edge for them going in this thing. I think Sullivan East, when they have Aaron Fry out there, that's the one guy you don't want to face if you're facing Sullivan East whenever he's pitching. So if they can throw him 2 times in the tournament, that's going to give them a chance of doing some big things. Elizabethton's got 2 really good pitchers I like a lot, Brody Adams, Garrett Hartley. I haven't seen all of these teams a lot, but I just know that they're good. I've seen what they've done this year, and it's going to be a fun tournament. It's going to be interesting to see too if they get backed up to Sunday. The more you condense that thing, the less of a factor the true aces like Aaron Fry can be. Because if Aaron Fry can only throw 1 game in the district tournament, obviously that's a big deal. You want to be out, like I said, you want to be able to throw him twice, and it'll be the same for these other teams with their top pitchers. So the more condensed it gets, the more it favors the pitching depth.
Absolutely, and that's what you got to have. I mean, to go anywhere in these tournaments, you got to have some arms, even with the pitch count. And so, Single A starts at Crockett, and again, we'll give you some more information about the Single A teams, but that would be Cloudland, Unaka, North Green.
They're going to start. We didn't have it in the print edition. I got it online, but they're going to start on. Trying to think if I think it's Friday. I hope that's correct. And they're going to have a couple of play-in games, and then I think they're coming back on Monday. Double check that online. We have those pairings up there. But 3 really good baseball teams in there: Unaka, North Green, and University High. And then Hampton played everybody a 1 or 2 run game and lost all of them during the regular season against the big three there. So you got 3 really good teams and a Hampton team that's just begging and scratching to get a win against them. So I couldn't tell you who's going to come out of that thing. I think, I kind of like University High. But, when Unaka's got those couple of really good pitchers on, and North Green's only lost, they'd only lost 1 game until West Green bumped them off there at the end of the regular season. So it's going to be really interesting. That tournament's going to be good.
We had Larry Shively on earlier in the show, the Dobbins Bennett athletic director, and apparently they're going to be naming a new basketball coach either today or tomorrow at DB, replacing the retired Charlie Morgan. So we'll let you know who that is. We've got some names we've been told have been kicked around, but we're going to let that settle till they make that choice. But it's very critical to get a coach in place before tryouts, obviously, before school's out, and then, of course, summer camp. So they're looking to name a new coach to replace the veteran Charlie Morgan. You don't get much better than Charlie Morgan, class act, and so he did so much for the kids off the court. So big shoes to fill, not only wins, but just as a character of a man of integrity, Charlie Morgan. So Larry Shively and the folks making that decision. It looks to be either today or tomorrow. Softball, AAA softball. It starts, I guess, with Daniel Boone. That tournament, by the way, the AAA boys will be at Daniel Boone. The AA boys will be at J. Fred, and the single A boys will be at Crockett. We'll keep you posted all weekend long and all next week, because it looks like the weather's going to push everything back, so we'll be right in the middle of baseball. Again, 4:30 today, first pitch, JV game, Elizabethton and Sullivan East. The varsity starts tomorrow here at 3:30, weather permitting, against Happy Valley. Doug, let's take a look at softball. You've got, obviously in AAA, starts and stops with the Daniel Boone Lady Trailblazers. They are the team right now, and so they'll start their tournament at Indian Highland Park in Kingsport Saturday. So tell us what your thoughts on AAA softball.
Well, clearly Daniel Boone's the team to beat, and they're excellent in every phase of the game. And over the course of a tournament setting, you would think that they're going to be the team that comes out of there. But the team that definitely the team to watch is David Crockett. They beat Daniel Boone on Sunday in the Tiny Day Classic down there, and then came back and had to play him again a couple of days later in their final, in Boone's final Big 7 game, and it was Boone won 6-2. And then Crockett yesterday, Sullivan Central was sitting there in second place, and Crockett beat them 10-0 in the first game, beat them 10-0 in the second game. Just put 2 thumpings on them, and just
butt whoopings.
And here's the thing about Central. Central's a really good hitting team, and Crockett got 2 shutouts from Carol Weems, and that's the team. That's the team that, because that league didn't really have a second place team. A true Central was pretty good, but they weren't dominant. But Crockett's the team that I'm looking to, if they keep that momentum going, they could be the team that joins Boone and goes on to the region. But that's no disrespect for Central or Dobbins Bennett or Science Hill, who all have competitive teams.
Mm-hmm. Talking to Doug Fritz, AA softball. It'll be being played at Happy Valley. Be playing Unicoi County, Lady Devils Diamond and Irwin. That will start today, as a matter of fact. They've got Sullivan South and Johnson County at 5, Sullivan East and the Happy Valley Northwind that played yesterday.
That was Happy Valley won 12-2, so that'll be Happy Valley against East.
Happy Valley and East, that'll be at 6:30 today, and then the 5 o'clock loser plays the 6:30 losers. They see the rain coming. They're going to kind of speed things up on this tournament, which is smart. So anyway, the AA started yesterday, and it continues today. What's your take on the AA softball?
Well, you got Unicoi County and Elizabeth, and those are 2 really good softball teams. They have really good pitching. They play defense, and they just get up there and scald the ball at the plate. And Elizabethton's got a little deeper lineup, I think, but Unicoi's got a little more power. So that's going to be just a tremendous battle between those 2 teams. And then you got Sullivan East and Sullivan South, who've both had really good seasons that could kind of sneak in there and cause some trouble. So it's not cut and dried that Unicoi and Elizabethton are going to come out of that. But they're definitely the favorites, and I'm really looking forward to when they get to the point, if it happens, that those 2 teams play in that winner's bracket final, because you don't want to drop back into that loser's bracket final and have to beat a Sullivan East team to get to the region when you've come off a tough loss to your rival. So whoever falls into that, and that's making a lot of speculations and a lot of assumptions, and I realize that, but that's what I expect to happen.
Talking to Doug Fritz, live at Champion Chevrolet. Andy said he came in today, and he said, I'm going to take them. He took yesterday off. As they came in this morning, they sold 12 here yesterday. So they're flying out here. It's a great start to the month of May here at Champion Chevrolet, the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Last but not least, in softball, they'll play these at East Tennessee State starting on Monday. Single A softball. What's your take there?
Well, it's Unaka's been the head of the class there so far, but University High beat them right at the end of the regular season there, and seems to have some momentum. Those two teams are should be the front runners and should be able to be the ones that come out and get to the region. In what order they'll be in, I don't know. I wouldn't think Cloudland, Hampton, South Green, North Green could get in the mix there, but if there was one of those, South Green and North Green are probably fairly even there. So, but it should be Unaka and UH.
We're talking to Doug Fritz. Got him for a couple more minutes, and we're going to switch gears and talk to my man Kevin Harmon's in the house. He went and saw the Predators play last week of the National Hockey League Stanley Cup playoffs in Nashville, so he's got a bird's eye view about that, and he got his Preds hat on. I'm liking it.
Let me just say this about hockey. As soon as the Capitals are eliminated from the playoffs, after being clearly the most dominant team, the best team in hockey all year long, they're going to phase out in the playoffs like they always do. I'm going to disown myself from hockey, and I'm not going to follow it anymore. I'm done. I mean, I'm just so tired of the Capitals. Just the playoffs, they barely won their first round series, and then Pittsburgh's up. They're not going to beat Pittsburgh. So let's get them done, get them out of that. If Nashville wins it all, great for them, but I'm not going to watch it.
He's a bitter man, this Doug Fritz. No, just cut to the chase, baby. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
We're talking to Doug Fritz. Before I let you go, let's jump in here and talk a little soccer. That's also postseason play starting up on Monday. Boys play in the fall or spring rather. So boys soccer getting ready to get cranked up, and AAA, AA, single A. Give me a capsule of those.
Well, you got the Science Hill and DB that are just on a collision course. They played. First time they played this year, DB beat them in penalty kicks. The second time they played, Science Hill won 1-0. Science Hill's maybe the best defensive soccer team that's ever come out of here. They've had, I think, 7 of their last 8 games have been shutouts. They've only allowed like maybe 5 goals the whole season, and two of those were against Dobbins Bennett there in that game that went to penalty kicks. So just a tremendous soccer team, and I really expect Science Hill to have a great chance to get down the road, but they got to deal with DB, and you got to position yourself. Both those teams should be okay in the region, but you want to be careful how you wind up in the sectional, and that's looking down the road there. But and then in AAA, you got Sullivan South looked like they were just going to run through it, not have any trouble. And then here comes Unicoi County. Who's ever heard of Unicoi County soccer? But I'm telling you what, Justin Sorowski's done a tremendous job with that program, and now they're 7-2, I think, in league play this year. They beat, I don't know if they beat Elizabethton, but they beat South. They just, that's going to be a lot of fun between South, Unicoi, University High, and Elizabeth, and all 4 of those teams have a shot to win the district. And then somebody's going to have to deal with Greenville, and they won't be able to do that. But so you've got to win the district to have a chance to get to that sectional, because whoever goes to region semifinals against Greenville's probably in a lot of trouble. And Science Hill and Greenville play tonight, by the way, and that'll be an interesting game too. Really good soccer programs.
There you go. What do you want to leave us with, my friend? We've got you doing overtime coverage here. This is awesome. Everything he's talked about, by the way, is in the Johnson City Press. Again, the high school district pairings and all the sports we talked about. They do a phenomenal job. It's a great resource for my show, the Johnson City Press. So what do you want to leave us with, the big guy?
Well, I just say, these district pairings, and I've done this for the first time ever. I put all time subject to change because of weather, because I put all this stuff together Wednesday, and it took quite a bit of time contacting people, chasing people down, trying to get this, that, and the other thing, and I was still working on it late last night, realizing all along that basically I have to redo it all Friday, then maybe redo it all Saturday, and then if you look at next week's forecast, it's just going to be a piecemeal of putting this thing together. This looks like it could be one of the most difficult district tournaments settings for all sports that we've had in quite a while because of the rainy weather. And having said that, watch it be sunny every day, which would be fine with me, because then they can just play on schedule.
Yeah, and even though they're playing on the artificial turf in the AA tournament, which we're going to be covering here on the show with Elizabeth and following the Cyclones, still, I mean, we talked about this morning on the phone as I booked you, was the fact that you want to put best possible scenario for the kids, first and foremost, and then the fans, because this is showtime. This is what you play for. So you want good weather, best you can put out there for these kids to compete, even on artificial surface. You know, these other fields that are natural grass, you know, it may be days where they can play on those, and you may see before it's all said and done, they may shift and put it on an artificial turf like Cardinal Park, or maybe not Hunter Wright. Hunter Wright's natural grass.
But
so.
you've got Cardinal Park, you've got Thomas Stadium. That maybe University High is actually going to use that for their game against Cloudland. That's Friday. I think it was Friday. So, you know, you've got some places you can do that, but you know, you've also got these schools like Unicoi County, and they'll go out there and they'll work that field for the softball tournament, and they'll work it. Now, a certain amount of rain, they can only handle so much,
right.
But you know, these people that really get out and work these fields, I got to tip my hat to them, because it's a lot of hard work, and then you do it and it rains, you got to do it again. But these schools, these tournaments are at good sites this year. There have been some times where your tournament will be at a place and you'll go, you know, that ain't happening. They're going to be moving that, and they do, and I won't say where, but you know, but there are a lot of good sites for these tournaments this year, so that's a good thing.
Yep. And also, the last little added piece to this is the TSSAA gives you a window of time to get the tournament in. So you got to get it in at a certain time. Then you move on to the regional. You got a window to get those in, and then of course the sectional, and of course in May you head down to the state tournament in Middle Tennessee. So there is a time frame from which you got to get these games in to move to the next one. So you can't just lollygag and say, we'll get in, because you got to get them in and move to the next round.
And the TSSAA is really good about, like, they have even said that, like, the week of the state tournament, if your sectional game, which is supposed to be Friday, say you get rain Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and you're supposed to play in the state tournament on Tuesday at 5 o'clock, TSSAA will let you play your sectional game at 10 a.m. and then have that team come down to the state tournament. So there is a deadline, but they also work with teams, and if these districts, you know, they can maneuver stuff around, but there are cutoff places, and you don't want to be playing a sectional game and then try to drive to Murfreesboro for a state tournament. So, you know, but they do work with teams.
So suffice it to say, we'll be watching and listening, not watching, but reading your coverage of all the tournaments. You're going to be out everywhere. So he and Mr. Angie and Mr. Avento and whoever else they've got covering right now for the press. So all hands on deck here in spring sports coverage, right?
That's it.
Yeah. Good job, man.
Thank you.
This guy's awesome. Quick break. We'll be right back. Another one's coming up. It's awesome, too. That would be our buddy Kevin Harmon. He joins us next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE master technicians here. With the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop. So it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
We're back live again on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We be here. Look, did you see him? He's there. He is. Tim Copenhaver was on the camera. That's the closest I got him. That's close he's going to get. There he. I love that guy. That guy, he's forgot more about baseball. He's the baseball guru. So, anyway, appreciate him being over here. I love coming over here and hanging with these guys every week. We're live here again at Champion Chevrolet. My man is in the house again with his Vanna sign. That's good. And,
You're blocking the way here.
Let's tilt it down so it won't be a glare. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was trying to avoid your hat.
And my hair, thank you.
Your grip hat.
Thank you. My grip energy drink hat. By the way, got me a little grip going on here, a little root beer.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Which one you're taking some out here with?
Pineapple, probably.
Man, he has worn me out for the last 3. Well, you said you'll give me some samples.
You owe me a case.
There's cases sitting over here. So
of course,
if he waits till 1 o'clock till we get off the air, I'm going to load his hiney up with some pineapple energy drink.
If I drink that, I drive into Chicago and back tonight.
Omaha bound.
Right.
Bound and down. My man Kevin Harmon, love this guy. We go back a long way. Great friend and a great Christian brother. So before we get into UT, which is your normal topic, you had an experience of a lifetime. I've never been to one, but you went to a Stanley Cup. I've never been to a hockey game. Is it a hockey game or match? Is it a game or match?
It's a game.
Okay, so I've never been to a hockey game.
It's actually a fight, but then a hockey game breaks out.
So anyway, he went to Gaylord Arena and watched the Nashville Predators and the St. Louis Blues in the Stanley Cup.
I did that, yeah.
Tell me about it.
It was awesome. It was. I went with Davis, and we got there Saturday night. And got to the park. We got to the arena very early. We got downtown Nashville real early, and so we walked around and just kind of took in the sights. Went to the Johnny Cash Museum, the Man in Black, which is also part of the Patsy Cline Museum. And Patsy Cline is actually part of Johnny Cash. And so we spent a couple hours in there just learning about. Am I not good?
You're good right there.
Learning about Johnny Cash, and I never knew his name was not Johnny. I always thought it was Johnny, but his actual name is J.R.
J.R. Yep.
He chose John when he entered the Air Force because the Air Force would not allow anyone to come in without a first name. Never do that. Some great stuff.
Now, you told me, I want to get into this because we're getting into music. Last week we got into about the Beatles. Now, I want to get into, for just a second, you told me today, and I've been thinking about this. I talked to him, I guess, last night. We were talking about, he said Johnny Cash had the biggest influence on country music of anybody. And I got to thinking, so before I dispute that, which I think I might, but give me a pitch. Tell me why Johnny Cash had the most influence on country music of anybody.
Well, I think he toured with Elvis, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Carl Perkins.
Yep.
We're all rockabilly guys. Now I'm getting this from the museum, and he was voted #1 by the Country Music Hall of Fame to the #1 influence. I'm sure he had his influences, but I think he was really the first one who really, came out with his own songs, wrote his own music. Of course, he started with Sam Phillips of Sun Records, which was a big deal. But I believe that he hit the Billboard charts, he hit the rock charts, he hit the country charts. He was a crossover artist, more than a lot of people realize. And his ballads were just huge. And I think he influenced quite a few artists, to write their own songs, to do so. I think the music you hear today in country music, a lot of people say really isn't country music.
It's not.
And he encouraged. He didn't. He did a lot of country songs, but his crossover and his rockabilly, and you can still hear it in his later stuff. With I forget the Unchained album, and it was just some very good music. Because of the length of his career, and he went into the prisons when that was never fashionable for country music. And if you watch the movie, did you see Walk the Line?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, about your fans are Christian folks, Johnny. And he went into Folsom Prison in San Quentin, and those became two popular albums. My dad never bought records, and he bought Johnny Cash
live
at
Folsom Prison
and San Quentin.
Got him myself.
Then he testified before Congress to get prison laws and prison conditions improved, and they listened to him, and they separated criminals from violent versus nonviolent and things like that. And he was a big cause of that. So he not only did music, but he had a social aspect to his life that a lot of people don't know about. Now, he struggled with addiction, and it was always a problem for him. But and he talked about it. He talked about it openly, and he talked about helping other people. He was just a crossover artist, I believe. That just my son likes him. My son has a Johnny Cash playlist, and he's 20, and he used to come to Fort Henry Mall when I was the manager there, and they would shop.
Him and June,
and it was usually around her birthday, and he would come in with her, and he would shop at S&K Menswear and get black shirts. Go, believe it or not. And I remember one day he ate at Garfield's, and they called me to the restaurant. Security did, and said he had asked to see the manager of the mall. And so when I got there, I had no idea what he wanted.
You talking about the Johnny Cash?
The Johnny Cash, yeah.
Wow.
He and June were sitting in a booth, and so I walk in, and a couple of the guys were with me, and he said he couldn't remember where he parked his car. I said, "What's it look like?" He goes, "It's just a car." He said, "Just a Lincoln." So we walk outside of Garfield's at that time. It's the main entrance where the theater was, and there's this big white Lincoln with steer horns on the ornament as a hood ornament, and the vanity plate on the front wrote MNNBLK, Man in Black.
Wow.
I said, I bet you that's his car.
Good chance.
So we went inside and said,
awesome.
I think we found your car, sir. It's just, but we'll help you out to it. So he was on a cane in those days, and that's my great Johnny Cash story.
Awesome.
And I actually told the lady that at the ticket taker. She was, all the people in there were Johnny Cash historians. So kind of wish I'd have brought my picture. We took a picture with him. They had a little setup. Davis and I took a picture with him. But it was a great experience to go in there and listen, because he's got 1,500 songs. I mean, he's like Elvis. He recorded 1,500 songs and had so many hits. And Cry, Cry, Cry was his first big one. Of course, he ended up with Hurt, and they had a whole thing at the very end of the museum tour. The last section was devoted to that song, Hurt, which he called his eulogy. And when Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails, a rock star, a rock singer, wrote that song, and if you listen to the Nine Inch Nails version, it's totally different than what Johnny Cash did. And Trent Reznor is interviewed, and he says he didn't really want to do it because he thought it was kind of gimmicky, but he went ahead and relented because it was Johnny Cash. And he says one day he opens the mail, and there's a tape in it. He doesn't know what it is, so he sticks it in his VCR or his tape player, and it's the video of Hurt, and it's the song. And he said he watched it. He said tears came to his eyes because he knew that it wasn't his song anymore. Johnny Cash had made it his song.
Wow.
By the way he sang and arranged it, plus then he got the video for it. And he said he knew that song would be with Johnny Cash, and he was okay with that. And it's a really cool interview, really cool video. And when you watch it, you can understand how he said it was his eulogy, and his kids cried when they saw it. I mean, he just touched so many people. And, you know, you still got the Carter Fold over here, and, you know, and June Carter Cash, you know, you have to say a lot about her because she would have been a star in her own right. You know, but she decided, she went with him, and she became a singer, a backup singer, but she had an incredible voice. You know, and their duo of Jackson was one of the best-selling duos of all time. You just can't, you know, he proposed to her on stage, and there's just so many things that he did that are just unique, and just sort of worth looking at. I mean, just worth following. He was just a very unique artist, and you know, and he, you know, from Boy Named Sue to all, you know, I've Been Everywhere and Walk the Line. I mean, just so much. He had one about it. Dirty Egg Seeking.
Oh, that's my song right there.
I forget the name of it.
Live at Folsom Prison, he's got You Dirty Old Egg Sucking Dog, and I've been flushed from the bathroom of your heart. Classic
It's
stuff.
just
Great stuff.
You know, his ballads, you know, Boy Named Sue. That's a single my dad bought. You know, my dad didn't listen to music, but everybody heard Boy Named Sue, and they heard Folsom Prison Blues. And, you know, Sunday morning coming down, you know, an interesting story, too, on I Walk the Line was, you know, Chris, he showed that song to Chris Christopherson and played it for him. And the original name was Because You're Mine. On
I
that
Walk
song.
the Line, yep.
And Chris Christopherson talked him into changing it to I Walk the Line. And I think that because of that, it was a great song, but I Walk the Line is a great title. Not Because You're Mine. It's like they've started a Corvette out there.
Cranked up that Corvette,
yeah.
man. That thing is sweet sounding.
So it was a lot of fun. Then we went to the game.
I was going to say, if you're listening going, is this a music show? It is a sports show. Kevin went to the Johnny Cash Museum on the way to see the Predators, which is where we're heading with this. So tell me about the Preds.
It was great. It was a great atmosphere downtown.
I don't care about the hockey thing. Now I want to hear more about Johnny Cash and Patsy Cline. But
it was
tell
a
me about
great,
the Preds.
you know, we ate at Jack's Barbecue, which is just right around the corner from Bridgestone Arena, and tons of Blues fans, not tons, but a lot of Predators, some Blues fans. And you go into the auditorium, and it's 3 levels high. It's freezing in there. I don't know, but once you got up high, it was okay. They had shirts on every seat, so the whole arena is yellow. But I've watched hockey on television. I didn't really understand it. I didn't know what icing meant and offsides and all this. But when you watch it in person, it's an incredibly exciting game. And they had that 83 seconds where they rotated and passed the puck, and then they rotated the entire team off, but the goalie. Off the ice, but it made, because of how they did it, it made the Blues have to keep their players on. And they talk about how that tired them out because they were just constantly skating, and that you have to burn a ton of calories doing what they do. And they scored their third goal. They took one shot in that entire sequence, and that was the shot that did it. And they did it when one of the wings went in and blocked the goalie, and he couldn't see it, and they made the shot. I mean, it was just incredible precision and teamwork. If you watch that video, it's just amazing. But you do not really get the appreciation for what's going on until you watch it live, and then it really helps your TV viewing. Because I watched both Anaheim and Pittsburgh Washington game last night.
So you're hooked now?
I wouldn't say I'm hooked, but it's playoff hockey. I am hooked on playoff hockey. And it was just a credible atmosphere. You know, Little Big Town sang the opening, the Star Spangled Banner. Luke Bryan was there. Lee Greenwood sang "God Bless the USA" at the end of between the second and third, at the third intermission, before the third quarter, third period. You know, and Davis did that song with him at Bristol. You know, and the whole arena was singing it. It was just a phenomenal. You know, that place is so loud, and everyone talks, and all the NHL guys talk about how Bridgestone Arena is sort of setting the tone for how the rest of the NHL should be as far as arenas are concerned. And it was loud. When they scored that third goal, and you could feel the game getting in their hands, the place just it was like the Oklahoma UT game. I mean, that's the only thing I could compare it to as far as it just was loud. And the introductions were cool. The way they they play the ice, and the guy comes in on a sort of a swinging trapeze, the Predator does. And I didn't know that's why they got their name, because they were building the arena, and they found a saber-toothed tiger. You know, and that's their emblem. They found the bones of one. That's their emblem, so they got the name the Predators.
Never knew that.
And I didn't either.
This guy's a plethora of information, folks.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
And so it was a great, you know, of course their goalie is one of the best in the NHL, and that's, you know, it's like pitching in baseball. I mean, you got to have a good goalie in hockey.
His name's Pekka?
Pekka Rinne.
Rennie Pekka.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So the Predators, by the way, Carmichael is normally here, is off today. He had some family obligations, so he is a huge hockey fan. He's been teaching me hockey, and I got a Predators pin at the house, and so I'm trying to learn what's going on. I like to go watch them play. Of course, I'd say tickets going to be at a premium. They'll skate in St. Louis tomorrow night, trying to end that best of 7 and get ready for the conference championship. So they're playing great hockey. They beat Chicago, and then nobody gave them a chance to beat the Blackhawks. They swept them, and so now they're up 3-1 over the Blues. They'll skate tomorrow night in St. Louis. We're talking to Kevin Harmon, talking about the Predators, and let's squeeze in for just. We'll come back to the Predators in a minute.
One thing on it, you know that when they beat the Blackhawks, they swept. It was the first time in sports history an 8th seed has swept a first seed.
In anything.
In anything.
Wow. So the Predators are rocking and rolling right now. They're skating in tomorrow night in St. Louis against the Blues there in St. Louis. Tennessee football, what's going on? I know the softball got a big win over the Florida Lady Gators, and give me a quick rundown on what's going on in Tennessee sports right now.
Well, the softball team got hammered the first 2 games. It was really ugly. We were in Knoxville. Actually couldn't get tickets for the second game before we went down to Nashville. But we listened to it on the radio, and it was pretty brutal. But right before, and then we found out they won 5-1. That was a big win. You know, you don't need to let somebody come onto your field and sweep you, and not only sweep you, but pretty much shut you out. So the 5-1 win with Megan Gear's grand slam home run was a big win for them. Now it's the Texas A&M this weekend at College Station, and to show you how brutal the SEC is, Tennessee's 9th. They played Alabama, who was at the time 8th. Then they played LSU at the time, who was 15th. They took 2 or 3 from them, swept Alabama, who was in the top 10. Then they lost. They took 1 or 3 from Florida, and now they're playing the 6th-ranked Texas A&M Aggies at Texas A&M. So it's, you know, we're hoping Tennessee can host a super regional SEC tournaments there, and they put the seats up in the outfield now. And the Florida series set records for the most attendance ever in a game there. So it's an exciting time, you know, and it's as far as the Tennessee brand, Tennessee Lady Vol brand, you know, technically there's no Lady Vol brand anymore. They're the team that's holding the standard right now. So great, you know, I umpire fast pitch softball, albeit it's middle school, high school, but still, it's a great game. It's a great game. It's bang bang. The girls are tough. They play hard. The pitches come at you. You know, a 60-mile-an-hour pitch, 69-mile-an-hour pitches, which is what Maddie Moss throws, is the equivalent of a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. So
wow.
It's bang bang. It's not designed to be like baseball, even though it sort of looks like it. It's you know, second base is not a scoring position unless you're a heck of a base runner. And these girls are talented. They have skill and they have power. It's a fun game to watch. It's a fun game to call. They don't complain. They cheer for each other. It's just a fun game to be around. You know, I hope Tennessee Lady Vols do well. The Weeklies will win a national championship here. I guarantee it. So, you know, just get involved and watch them and go from there.
Tennessee football, what's going on there?
Football, the big news is they got a commitment from Brett Lawless, big time defensive tackle, 4-star that they've really been after. He's committed early, so you hope that builds you some momentum. And there's also some other big defensive tackles, defensive ends in the state, and it's felt that he can help bring those guys on board, especially like DeAndre Lideker. They're all out of Middle Tennessee, and these kids are big-time players. And you know, when you think about stars and all this stuff, you really look at a kid's offer list. Who wants him on scholarship? Mm-hmm. You know, it's something to take a kid that, you know, when Dooley was here, we were beating out, you know, Akron and Toledo, and you know, Miami,
Slippery
Ohio,
and,
yeah.
gotcha.
You know, here Lawless had offers from Alabama, Auburn, Mississippi, Florida State. You know, I don't care what the stars are, but when those schools like that are offered,
oh yeah,
you know, and you get them to come to you, then that says something for your program. Yep. So that's really what you need to look at. It's the offer list, not the stars. Stars are just something that these guys who watch film think, well, okay, he's a 5-star.
Something you and I would do.
4-star. Yeah, I
But
mean,
the bottom line
we could
is-
do it. You know, a lot of them, okay, they're ex-college scouts or whatever, but they get them wrong. And, you know, obviously 5-star Trey Smith is a true 5-star, but I don't think that's been so hard to pick because of his measurables. But, you know, you really see what they're like in college. And some kids peak in high school, some kids peak in college, some kids go on to the NFL and do very well. You know, speaking of the NFL, Tennessee had, 6 players drafted? So it was a good week for Tennessee sports, Tennessee football. Got a big announcement today on basketball for, what is that, Nappadide or something?
Yeah.
For Chris Darrington, who's a shooting guard, JUCO transfer, so he'd be a JUCO player. Tennessee's after him pretty hot, so he announces at 3 o'clock today. So it's hoped that Tennessee will get his commitment. So, but nobody seems to be speculating on him. So we'll see.
There you go. Kevin Harmon, great report. The Predators and UT Sports will be back next week and give us another update. And hopefully the Predators will move right into the Western Conference Finals, the Stanley Cup playoffs, which looks like is where they're headed. Blues got to come back and win 4.
3 of the next 4.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't think they can do that. But,
Yeah, but Game 6s scare me. So I hope that they could close it out in 5. Because Game
Tomorrow night.
6s are no fun.
Tomorrow night in St. Louis.
Can you imagine, though, if a Tennessee team, you know, like when the Titans went to the Super Bowl, you know, if you get a team from the state of Tennessee that goes to the Stanley Cup championship, you know, that's quite a that's a big statement. You know, playoff hockey, man, there's nothing like it.
Good stuff. Appreciate you coming, big dog.
Good to be here.
He is the man. We'll take a break, come right back. Andy Dietrich comes back. He's got some specials on Malibus and double and crew cab all-star trucks to tell you about. He'll close out the show next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of their patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we be here for the final go-around, talking to my man Andy Dietrich. He kind of got it rolling, and comes back as a cleanup hitter to finish this thing out. Tim was on camera right over here a while ago.
I know, I saw
He came over
that.
and talked to Doug Fritz, and they were talking sports, and had him kind of the phantom, kind of a cameo shot of the man.
The camera didn't break or anything, did it?
No. He waved at the camera, so hey, I'm making progress. Now,
Did you
you
get-
said, when I do the 500th show, he said he would come over for one time and say, how'd he do that on my show? Is that correct?
He's going to do it.
There you
He'll
go.
put the headphones on and do
There
it.
you
Yeah,
go.
he's giving 2 thumbs up
That's,
over there.
Hey, when you get 2 thumbs from Tim, you're in. So,
Yeah.
love coming over here, folks, and hanging out with these guys. They're class acts. That's why they're the #1 Chevy dealer in the state. You've got Malibus, and you've got double and all-star crew cabs. You've whacked off some more money off
Yes,
this. Tell me about it.
Malibu 1LTs, 25% off. That's saving. You're getting a fourth of it gone.
Wow.
How do they do that? Well, you're going to get the best deal here. I mean, it's just plain and simple. 25% off 1LT Malibus. We've got $10,000 off select double and crew cab all-stars. That's brand new 2017 Chevrolet Silverados. So if you need a pickup truck, 10 grand off select ones here in inventory. So we've got I'll have to drive you around this dealership before you leave, Tom, but we've got cars stacked on top of cars. We haven't had this many in probably 4 or 5 years. So we have them. Nobody else does. I mean, it's just we've got them every shape, size, color. We've had to park them. We've got so many trucks here right now. You can't really see it, but we've had to park them over here in a dirt side lot because the entire back is full, entire front is full. So, you know, this needs to be your one-stop shop. You don't need to go anywhere else because we're going to have more selection than anybody.
Did you tell me they sold 12 yesterday?
Yeah, 12 yesterday on my day off.
There you go.
So I think I may take, the rest of the week off if they're going to do that well.
So I'm looking at this ad. Again, this ad came out on Friday the 28th of April, which was last Friday. So $24,340 MSRP Malibu. So if I'm doing my ciphering and I take a fourth of that off, that's roughly $6 grand right off the top. So,
Yes.
That's what kind of deal you can get here on the 2017 Malibu, 25% off, and then also the double and crew cab all stars. What kind of savings there, ballpark?
You're looking, depending on the price, because the higher price, the bigger discount. But all Silverados are going to be 10 grand off with select ones. All-star. Double and crew cabs. So we've got select ones. All-star package is the 5.3 liter V8. It's got an upgraded alloy wheel. It has a G80 rear locking differential on it, and it's a package saving. It's like you get a bundled package with all these things on it that are extra options, and we get an extra rebate on those trucks to offset all the extra options on it. So that's why we can do $10,000 off on those. So I've got them. I think we're right at almost 600 new here right now. We haven't had that many since
600 new vehicles in the lot?
600, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're kidding me.
No.
You have 600 new
Yes.
vehicles sitting on this
Yeah.
lot. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Who else has that kind of inventory?
I don't know of anybody.
No.
Nobody's crazy enough to do that. Come on down and see Crazy here at Champion.
But see, they do that because they're confident that they're going to move them. That's the whole point of bringing them in.
If you don't have them, you can't sell them.
Preach it. You got to have the inventory. It's called supply and demand, right?
Yes.
Yes. And so they've got them. Over 600 new vehicles. And of course, when you come in and buy a new one, what percentage, when somebody buys a new one, do they use a trade-in?
Probably 65% of people.
So that tells you there's a lot of previously owned vehicles on the lot as well, correct?
Yes, yeah. We've got probably somewhere over 90% of our used cars are local trade-ins. Yes, the other 5 to 10% of our used car inventory, we will buy program cars to fill holes in certain things that we need. But over 90% of the vehicles out here on my lot that are used are from here locally: John City, Kingsport, Bristol, Mars Hill, Marshall, Coburn, Castlewood, Kingsport, Gate City, Weber City, Duffield, Big Stone. People, we can put you in touch with the previous owner, run a Carfax, see the service history, make you feel good about it, that you know this person took care of a car.
Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia. Guy came in here, tells a story every week. Came in here back, I guess it was February, March. Came in, drove all the way from Georgia, saw it on the internet, championjc.com, and came in and bought a vehicle. Then about 3 weeks ago, guy comes in with a West Virginia ball cap on, Mr. McCoy from New Martinsville, Virginia, came down here all the way from, he said it was 6 hours one way to buy a vehicle because that's the kind of savings you get here at Champion Chevrolet. So,
well, I told you we picked up people from the airport all the time.
So that fly in here.
We've had 2 fly helicopters and land them on our lot to buy cars.
And drove them home. There you go. How do they do that?
It's
because of Tim Covenaver and no, I guess since he's here, because of Andy Dietrich and Tim Covenaver. I guess you better get top billings.
Yeah, better, since he won't come over here and speak.
No. But you know what was funny? The more I talked about high school baseball, the closer he got. When Fritz was here, he just kept getting closer and closer. And then, I waved at him and he went back over there. So he got over here, so they were talking, and the big buzz, of course, Dobbins Minutes scheduled to name a new basketball coach either today or tomorrow. We'll have Larry Shively back on. I had him on today, but I knew he wasn't going to say much about that because they haven't made the announcement. But we'll have him back on tomorrow and find out who the new coach is replacing.
I've turned it down because I want to sell cars.
I thought you were going to do tennis.
Well, I'm thinking about doing tennis too over here. And
so he's talking.
Jack of all trades.
Would Tim let you put a tennis?
Yeah, I think we may put a tennis court right out here by the flagpole. And then when we're not using, we'll park cars on it. But when we have practice, we'll move the cars off.
There you go.
Yeah.
Coach Dietrich.
You could do your show live out on the tennis court.
Anywhere you want me to do it, we'll do it. Right there live on the tennis court.
Yeah.
4. Oh, that's golf, isn't it?
That's 4.
Love.
Set, match.
Yeah. Have you ever played much tennis?
I used to all the time. I haven't. I grew up playing it all the time at Richfield's Country Club and Borden Park, and played tennis at Dobbins Bennett my senior year. And
Coach Danko?
Yes, Anna Danko was the tennis coach when I was there.
Awesome stuff.
Good lady.
Yep, class lady. Champion Chevrolet, again, give us a website, give us the hours open, my friend. We'll close this thing down.
www.championjc.com. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can get on there, get financing approved. You can look at parts. You can buy accessories. You can chat with our staff here. You can look at inventory, new and used. Request information about what your trade value is worth. Schedule service appointments. We're open 8 to 8 Monday through Saturday on sales, and 8 to 6 Monday through Friday on service, and 8 to 5 service and parts on Saturday. We are closed on Sundays.
There you go. And that's good. You go to church and do whatever you need to do on Sunday to kind of recharge your batteries.
If you drive by here on a Sunday and usually the gates are closed most of the time, when we're closed, people like to get out sometimes and not have anybody say, hey, can I help you? They like to get out and wander around, and they can do that on Sundays here, and no one will bother you.
There you go. Be back here next Thursday. We got to figure out this 500th show. Even Tim said we ain't gonna do the 500th show. Everybody's getting a little antsy.
But you're at 700, but we're gonna celebrate the 500. Is that where we're at? Because I hadn't seen you in a while. We saw you last Thursday, but then you lived at Bristol when you're the voice of Bristol up there.
Up there for a long time. I had a blast. You talk about selling tickets. They were flat selling tickets for Junior's last run for the Cup race coming up August 19th. Triple header.
I'll be camping.
There you go. Did you have a good time up there camping?
It was a little wet. It was a lot of fun, but it was really wet.
We've got a triple header, by the way, on August the 19th. It's the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race. Back up one day, the Food City 300 on the 18th. And then 2 more days back up. August the 16th, chronologically, will be the UNO H200, the Camping World Truck Series, hitting to the high banks of Bristol. Bristol Tix, TIX.com. It is an official Chevrolet track, bow tie, at Bristol Motor Speedway. So, in fact, in the spring race, there's been more races won by Chevrolet, actually more totally. There's 45 wins now at Bristol Motor Speedway done by Chevrolet.
Oh, wow, I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah. Most wins at Bristol is by Chevrolet. 45 races won by a man driving a Chevy.
Well, that means you need to come buy a Chevrolet.
There you go. You got it. ChampionJC.com. Be back here next week. Maybe we just need to start planning for the 600 show.
Why not?
550, because at this point we're at 511 and moving on.
Well, we can just do 550.
We can do 550.
Yeah. How do they do that?
We can do 523 if you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Andy Dietrich.
It's just a celebration that you're here, and you when everyone said this wouldn't work, and
exactly.
It does work.
It does work.
And you're showing the non-believers.
Yes.
And I'm proud to sit here with you. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, Dad. we're gone. That's our buddy Andy Dietrich from Champion Chevrolet. We will rejoin you at 4:15 today. We have baseball. We've got the Elizabethton Cyclones and the Sullivan East Patriots. 4:30 first pitch from Twin Stadium in Elizabethton. Again, we want to say thank you so very much for being with us. Our guests today have been the obvious Andy Dietrich, co-owner of Champion Chevrolet. Also Doug Fritz from the Johnson City Press. Kevin Harmon talking Tennessee sports. Also Al Biker from Grip Energy. Got the ball cap on. And also Dobbinsman Athletic Director Larry Shively. All those folks help make up the show. And you saw a small snippet of a cameo appearance of Tim Copenhaver off screen talking. So we got to say he was part of the show as well. Tomorrow, Mortgage Investors Group will be there broadcasting live in North Johnson City. Next week, we'll pick back up with our Food City Live broadcast, but tomorrow will be a Mortgage Investors Group in Johnson City. Monday, we'll be at the Kingsport Boys and Girls Club. Getting ready, they're going to be giving away a car for 2017. Again, that will be an opportunity to promote the Boys and Girls Club at Greater Kingsport. We'll be there on Monday of next week, and then Tuesday going to be Hardy somewhere, I believe. So anyway, I want to say thanks to Appalachian Digital, our great friend Jeremiah Clark and Michael Smith, who again do the numbers and the logistics and the behind-the-scenes work for this show. And again, we want to say thanks, obviously, to Andy and Tim. We love coming over here and hanging at the #1 Chevy dealership. You know, that's pretty cool to say. We're not just the number 7th or 8th or 12th, the #1 Chevy dealership in the state of Tennessee. Right here again at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile. ChampionJC.com. Till we re-greet you at 4:15 for a Cyclone baseball from Champion Chevrolet in Johnson City in the Bristol Highway Motor Mile. We'll tell you as always, win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for giving us a watch and listen, and we'll rejoin you at 4:15 for Cyclone baseball. Until then, so long, everybody.